So in this video, we will discuss something more about functions. I will tell you about the way how Python functions behave and how to assign functions to variables and how to pass a function as a parameter to another function that we actually call it as a callback, and also how to create anonymous functions or lambda functions. So let us see that how are we going to create all this. The first thing, how are we going to assign function to a variable? What exactly is that? What is the meaning of that? So let me explain you that. What is possible in Python? First, we should know about it. Let's say I'm creating a function called demo add a comma b. And for this, I will specify return a plus b. Fine. So what this function is going to do is it adds two values and then returns that. We can call it demo add and then 2 comma 3. We can call it. So what is possible here? Let us see. I'm executing it. Yes, it works fine, no issue at all. Now, what I'm going to do is some variable v is equals, I will specify demo add. And here I'm not calling it. Here I'm not calling it. Instead, I'm just specifying demo add. So now I will use v of 10 comma 20, then dot print. So let us see what is it. So I assigned demo add to a variable, and that variable I am calling as a function. So let us see. Yes, it works and then returns 30. So what you have to remember here is in Python, we can assign the function to a variable, but when assigning, you should not call it. Don't use parentheses. If you are using parentheses, that means you are calling it. Here, I'm not using parentheses. That means I'm not calling it. So the reference of the function will be assigned to v. So from now onwards, I can use that custom name, that is v, and v of 10 comma 20 in this entire program. So this is possible in Python. So how this will be useful, what we can achieve because of it. So let's say I wanted to create a function which will perform some actions, which will perform, let's say I'm asking it to perform add. It is going to addition two values and then return it. I'm asking it to perform multiplication. It will multiply and then return it. So I wanted to write a function which will does that kind of activity. So for that, I will write a function. I have removed it, okay, and I'm writing a function, something like demo maths, right? And the third parameter I'm taking as the action. So if action is, if that act, whatever we are passing, if it is equals to add, it is going to return a plus b. Let's assume. So this is what I am writing here. This is the function I am writing. So the second one, I'll write mul, and then I will specify a star b. Okay, how this works? I'm calling demo maths of 2 comma 3 comma, I will specify add and print. So I specify add over there. So it is working by adding. Okay, it is adding two numbers and then returning that. So let's say if it is null, it works. It does multiplication and then return that. Yes, this is what it is doing. Now I created the logic inside of the function. So if I have to use this logic outside of it, so then I'm writing another function, demo add, then a comma b. You can have any anything, and then return a plus b. I'm specifying that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create two more functions here, and then a star b I'm specifying. Okay, fine. So instead of using return a plus b, okay, the logic I've created here, the addition logic I've created here, instead of that, I'm going to use return demo add. I'm calling that function here, demo add. Whatever the values I'm passing here, that values will be given here, a plus b, a comma b. And similar to that, I'm going to use return demo mul a comma b. So I'm calling those functions, these two functions here. I'm calling these two functions here. And of course, what's happening every time I need to use if the action is add, if the action is mul, like that. So it is executing some code to execute that function. So instead of that, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to pass the action as a string. I'll pass the action as a function. So what will happen? So instead of passing mul here, I'm going to pass demo mul. So I have to remove parenthesis so that I'm sending the function name, not function call. If I use this, that becomes function call. I'm not sending it. So I'm sending function as a parameter value. So now act is equals to demo mul. So act is going to become act will become a function. Because of that, I can happily use return act of a comma b. That's it. Simple. Return a comma b, return act of a comma b. So now act will play the role of callback. Act will play the role of callback. The function what I am sending to another function will be calling this function. So this is now called a callback. So the called function is calling a function that is passed, right? So whatever the function you specify here, that function will be executed. So demo mul I'm passing here. So demo mul of a comma b, it works. So let's say I'm passing demo add. So it is going to add it. It's going to add it. Make sure that you're not calling it. So this is how you can send function as a parameter value, argument value. This is possible. It's a callback kind of stuff. So where can we use it? You can pass it anywhere, wherever you want. This is one of the example. The best place where you pass all these things is we have some functions, some places called to filter the data or to map the data. We have some functions. In next video we will discuss about it. There it will ask us to pass some functions. Yes, in such cases we can use this facility, right? We can actually create lambda expressions, and before that I am telling you about this callback feature, right? So what is lambda also we'll see. And in Python, what you have to remember, you can store the function to a variable, or you can pass the function as the name of the function itself. That's it. As a parameter to another function. That is possible. That is called callback. And because of that, you don't need to keep, or you don't need to call that function inside of that function. You can separate that code, and then explicitly you can use that logic, and then that logic you can send to a function. That is possible. So here I explicitly stored the addition logic, explicitly stored multiplication logic, and I'm passing this to another function. So this is what I'm talking. So now when it comes to this, what is lambda? Lambda are anonymous functions. Callback means I can able to pass a function to another function, and that function, the called function, is calling that function. So what is lambda here? So when you have a single expression function, so this is a single expression function. So where it does only return a plus b, a star b. So here what I'm doing, def, a function name, parameters, and colon, return keyword, all these things we are using. So when you have a single expression function, we can reduce even that way as well. We can simplify writing of that single expression function. That is possible. We can simplify writing of that single expression function. In fact, we don't need to, sometimes we don't need to write that function and then maintain it. It is not required. We can directly write that function then and there itself. We will specify that logic. Let's say I want to write dividing logic. I want to write some other logic, whatever I want. We can write as a lambda function. We can write as a lambda function. Let us see that how are we going to write this kind of functions here. So I will specify some dm is equals to, I'll use a keyword called lambda, and the lambda syntax is simple. Start with lambda, create all the parameters, let's say a comma b, and then colon, and then specify what you wanted to return. I want to return a plus b, that's it. I want to return a plus b. So this is dm is a function which will take two inputs and then returns a plus b, that's it. So this dm is now equivalence of this one. So these two the same activity. And let's write one more. So let's say dm1 I am writing, and lambda. So it takes only one parameter. Okay, let's say n comma, sorry, colon, and then I wanted to return whether this is odd number or not. I want to return whether this is odd number or not. So you can specify n percentile 2. So you have to specify whether this is equals to 1 or not equals to 1, something like that. So equals to 1, right? So if it is equals to 1, that it is going to return true, or it is going to return false. So let's see this. I'll specify is odd. I will specify that. So let me call both the functions dm of 10 comma 20 dot print. So it should print 10 plus 20, that is 30. And second function is odd. Is odd should return true or false. So here this is equals to 1 or equals to, this is going to return true or false, right? So I'm using is odd, and I wanted to see whether 27 is odd number or not. The print. So it should give us true or false. So let us execute it. That's it. It is giving true. So I'm giving 28. You should give false. So that's it. You got the answer. So this is how you can able to write a single parameter or multiple parameters function, right? But make sure that this is single expression function. Single expression means you have only one statement here, and whatever you write here, that should be only one statement which is returning value. So here, whatever it is returning, here it is returning a integer. So whenever you call it, it is returning 10 plus 20. So here it returns n percentile double equals to 1. So it is going to return, we have used double equals, so it is going to return true or false. So here it is being printing true or false. This is how you can actually create lambda expression. So how to pass this function to a variable, another function? So here I created a function and then passing it. I created a function and then passing it to demo maths. So can I do that by using lambda? Yes, we can. So how are we going to do it? So demo maths. So I'm calling this function demo maths. I'll specify 100 comma 200. And what you wanted to do, what is the action? Either you specify the predefined action, that is demo mul or demo add, like that, or you can specify an action here itself. So I'm going to use lambda, and then what is your action? So that function should have two parameters, right? So I'm going to use a comma b. You can use any other variables as well, no issue. And then what you wanted to do with these two, right? I wanted to have b by a. I wanted to have b by a. So now whatever you're getting here, this becomes the return value. This becomes the return value. So I'm going to print it. So what will happen now? There is no function name here. Here I actually assigned this function to a variable so that we can use it in other statements. So if you don't want to call that function anywhere, that is just for one-time use functions kind of stuff, you can happily specify lambda functions. There is no name for it. There is no name here. Whatever the third, this is the third parameter. So here act is the third parameter. So act is equals to this lambda function. So that's why there is no name for it. That's why it is called anonymous function, right? So lambda function or anonymous functions means there is no name for it. So whatever you assign, that parameter is equals this particular function name. So here I sent a logic that is b by a, that will get printed here. So b by a means 200 by 100. It should print 2. It should print 2. Yes, it is printing 2. So that's what it does. Right. So this is how you can use lambda expression. So where else you can pass this lambda expression? So we have some functions called the first one, filter, and map. So these two are, the famous function, and also reduce is there. Reduce is coming from some different module, but for now we will discuss about these two. Yeah. So what is filter? So you have an array. Something like number is equals. I'll specify 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Something like that I'm specifying. So I wanted to filter all the values that are greater than 40. I wanted to print those values. Print values that are greater than 40. So in such case, I'm going to use filter function. So generally what I'm going to use is the logic is going to be create a loop. In that loop, if that number greater than 30, so store that number or print that number kind of thing. That kind of logic you are going to create. Instead of that, what you can do is you can create a function. You can create a function which will does that activity. So here in filter, the first parameter is going to be function. So my function is going to be lambda function, lambda and n colon, and if n is greater than 30, so this is my condition. So what this is going to do is, for every number it is going to iterate. So I will give this name as nums. Okay, numbers. Okay, for every number it is going to iterate and then checks the condition. What is my condition? Lambda n greater than 30. So if it is greater than 30, right, it is going to return that as a iterator. So general iterator means where we can able to iterate over that data and then print it. And what we can do is we can convert everything into list. We can convert everything into list and then print it. We can convert everything into list and then print it. So now what this is going to do is, for every number in this list, it checks this condition and then gets the values, converts them to list and then print it. Let us execute it. It should print 40 and 50. That's it. It is printing 40 and 50. That's it. Right. So this is how you can able to use filter function. The filter function is taking a callback function. The filter function itself is taking a callback function, right? The function that's taking a callback function. This is what you have to remember, right? So how are we going to use map? Map means you can able to map the existing values with new values. Again, it is asking us to specify a condition. So let's say I am specifying a condition. So for every number I am adding plus 10, something like that. So this is my function. For every number there, I am adding plus 2 otherwise, n plus 2. I'll remove this. And then comma, what is the variable nums? So now this will return an iterator. As usual, you are converting that to list and then print it. So now it is going to print. So for every number we are adding 2. So 12, 22, 32, 42, 52, that's what it is going to print. So that's how map will work. That's how map will work, right? So you can able to map values with a new value that you are returning it, right? Let's say I'm returning 1. So it is going to become, all values will become 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. That's it, right? Because that's what I'm returning it. Okay, that's what I'm returning it. So the existing values will get mapped with the new value that is returned from this function. So this is how you can use lambda expressions in different situations. Whenever it is asking us to pass a function, you can pass an existing function, or you can pass a function directly by creating then and there itself by using lambda expression, right? Any doubts, you can comment. Thank you.